A very good evening to all our viewers. Welcome to Monday's edition of the Evening Review. My name is Tim Ekandjo, your host. Tonight on the show we are going very, very positive. We are joined by two men who have consciously decided to embark on a very painful but worthy cause of facing each other in a boxing ring for the cause of raising funds towards a cause that they will explain here. That is King Tee Dee, well known as the King of Kwaito in Namibia, as well as Tim Ekandjo, who is the founder of Project You Never Walk Alone. Oh, Project You Never Walk Alone?
Project Never Walk Alone.
Project Never Walk Alone. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. Tim, please engage us on what the project is overall. We know it has existed before, what I just spoke about, the boxing part of it. And of course then the idea behind facing this man in a boxing ring.
Yeah, so in a nutshell, we have about almost 85,000 barefooted children in Namibia.
Yeah.
That includes grown-ups as well.
Yeah.
You see, if you drive around the city or any other town, especially when I drive past Karibou, you always see a lot of young boys barefooted.
Yeah.
So basically, this is what the project is all about. It's about raising funds to ensure that we declare a nation that everybody has a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
We have signed an agreement with Shilongo Leather, and they make high quality velskoene for these kids. So we go around the country. We have a database, and we make sure that we give every child whose parents cannot afford a pair of shoes a brand new pair of shoes that would last them for about 6 years, and they obviously pass it on in the family as well. This requires, of course, a lot of money. If you look at our project plan, we need about almost 17 million Namibian dollars to cater for that 85,000 shoes. The project relies solely on funding because it's an NGO, from corporates, from individuals, but we also don't want to just rely on funding. And that's why we have our own fundraising initiatives. That's where we now have this, which is going to be one of the biggest fights of the year. Essentially, this is a fundraising initiative.
Yeah, wonderful.
But King Tee Dee has gracefully agreed to come and knock me out.
Yeah.
He is the favorite of.
And surely I will do.
So I'm going into this fight as an underdog, but we want to raise so much money. There's a lot of excitement about the fight, but we also need to constantly remind people why we're doing it.
Wonderful.
So every time that somebody buys a ticket, they must know that they're consciously doing so by supporting the cause.
Yeah, wonderful.
While being entertained.
Yeah, sure. So, King Tee Dee, I've followed your activities in the build-up to this, and you seem to be taking it very, very serious. You were at the coast, training by the sea. You have enlisted the services of what is my friend's name? IMS. So, I mean, and IMS is a professional trainer. If you can engage us on why you agreed to partake in something as vicious as that.
The reason why is, it's a good project. If you follow me from the start, I've always take part in this charities. I've done a lot of charities, and when Tim approached me with the project, it made sense to me. It's something that I've never done before. It excites me. I think all my life I've just been doing music, performance. But this is something that out of something that I normally do. And I never thought also in my life that one day I'll be doing this. I'm not really a type of person that watch sport that much. You see, and thanks Tim. Now, even on Instagram, YouTube now, I'm abusing those boxing videos. I'm watching them. You see, it's now. You know, I'm ready. You know, it's not that I'm gonna go in the fight and remember, we're not enemies here. We just, but we wanna entertain people. Yeah, I'm ready. Every day I'm.
Yeah, wonderful. Just a follow up quickly with that to you, Doc. I mean, you have pretty much been very open about your past. It's the kind of environment that you grew up in. You've written a book in which you have also sort of reflected on your childhood. Is it also part of that background to say that you have seen with your own eyes how children went through life without some of these basics, and you feel it's also then important that you partake in a charity that can help alleviate that kind of situation?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, yeah, I grew up without, you know, having everything that other people had, you know. Going to school with no shoes, having, you know, what do you call it in English, but Moshwambo is that omachija, mafinja. You see, when it's cold, you know, you've got the cracks, sores, and all that. Yeah, I've been there, and yeah, that's the reason why. Also, one of the reasons that I've decided to take part in, and use also my influence. You see. To influence others when these kind of projects are there, then you do it. I think next time a team must just organize it even with a CEO to CEO. Yeah. Yeah, CEO. To, no, I think it will be great. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
But I'm looking forward. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
very much.
Tim, how did the idea germinate in your mind that indeed, because I know that you've been in a lot of charity, generally you've done so much for the past 10 or 11 years, giving out money and other kind of assistance to society, but the idea of shoes, how did it come about?
It came about last year, July.
Yeah.
Extremely cold morning. My boss and I were driving to Papua to go and hand over the school as part of our school's project. So we left about 6 o'clock in the morning, and as we were driving towards Papua, I saw a bunch of kids walking next to the road.
Yeah.
I think it was so cold that we had to turn the degrees in the car to about 30 degrees. That's how cold it was. And I saw these kids walking on both sides of the roads in a very rocky area, and they were barefoot. And then as we continued driving, we saw another bunch of kids, and they became more and more and more. And in my mind, I was saying, how far would these kids be walking barefoot, being so cold? And after about 20, 25 kilometers, I saw the school that they were walking to. So you can imagine walking every day in those conditions. And in my mind, I was saying, but this something has to be done.
Yeah.
And that's how the idea started. Went back, I heard about Shilongo Leather, I spoke to them.
Yeah.
I shared the idea with them. They said, brilliant, we can give you 30%, 35% discount.
Yeah.
We started getting sponsors on board, a passionate team, registered the NGO, and that's basically how it started.
Wonderful. Doc said earlier that he's not a very sporty guy, but we know that you are very passionate about sport, generally but in other capacities, not as a participant. I've never seen you. I've never seen you participate directly into it. Boxing, is this something that you're passionate about as a sport? Is it something that you've tried in your earlier years, for example?
Not at all. The only sport I played was soccer.
Yeah.
Back in the days, I played in the Premier League as well.
Oh,
for
really?
Shakati City. Before I left for my studies in Cape Town.
Yeah.
We should Google that.
Google it.
Yeah, I didn't know. Back in the days, there were no cameras. So the archives are not there to prove. Yeah, but that's what I played. I love watching boxing, especially big fights.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I've never tried boxing before.
Yeah.
This would be my very, very first time. But the reason why I also asked King Tee Dee to do something that I have never done before is really because when we do things for others, we need to get out of our comfort zones to say we are going to do or take on a course that we have never done before in the benefit of others, because that's how we define success at Project Development. You cannot be successful without shining a light on others. And that's why we're doing something. Yes, a lot of people will come and pay big money to come and watch us fight, but it's really about the cause.
Yeah, wonderful. We go for a quick break and return for second half.
AgriMonitor is jou weeklikse landboukundige program wat jou die jongste nuus in die landbouverwante bedryf en onderwerpe wat daaraan gekoppel is, bring. Vir enige advertensie of nuusverwante navraag, kontak agrimonitor@synergy.com.na.
Tourismus Namibia is a weekly tourism show that brings you the latest news in the tourism industry and topics related to that. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact tourismus@synergy.com.na for news and advertising related queries. Tourismus, bring the world to Namibia.
We continue our conversation with Tim Ekandjo and King Tee Dee. Now, Doc, you have watched, even if you're not a sports guy, you saw what happened to Buti, your good friend. It was Tim actually who set them up with that big man. So is that, it doesn't scare you to be in a similar situation with a big guy like this? You're Mr. Skeleton.
No, I'm not scared. Like I said, this it's for a good cause. Just like what Tade Buti did there also. He fought it's a giant that he fought. He didn't give up. For me, I'm still gonna go in. If I win, I win. But I'm hoping to win. Because for sure, if I lose, because I already had a loudmouth on social media. See, I had a loudmouth on social media, so I need to back up that loudmouth. You see, with punches. So.
This is what I was saying about Job Mpana that time, because Job fought JJD, and we were all saying that he cannot afford to lose because he's a very
so exactly the same exactly as me. But I just want to tell everybody that's watching that in the next 2 months after the fight, or a month, Mr. Tim here next to me, he's not going to go to work. He will be so swollen. 1 month. Because it's in October. 2 months. He's going to only come back to work in January. So.
Luckily, I'm working. I don't have to take paid.
Yeah, but I'm excited. Like I said, I've never done this before. And watching a friend of mine also, the way he was fighting. That would probably if he doesn't punch me hard, I won't do that. But let's see.
No. So Tim, then even before this event now that is taking place in October, you've already been, like you said at the beginning, you've already been involved in this project. How has it been so far? What kind of impact have you made in your view?
Well, in our view, we've done very well so far. We've already handed over 4,890 shoes. We started in Hardap. From Hardap we went to Omaheke. Omaheke we went to Erongo. After Erongo we went to Kabago East, not Kabago West. So we now have, the next phase is to go to these 3 regions before the end of the year.
Yeah.
We want to go to Karas. We want to go to the side of Opol, where the project idea started. We then want to go to Oshana.
Yeah.
And hopefully we want to do Kavango West as well.
Yeah.
So wherever we have commitments, we go. Some of the sponsors say, listen, I want to give you this much, but I want you to concentrate on this region. So we take basically 1,000 per region. The feedback has been phenomenal. I mean, the kids are now staying in school. There's less dropouts. The confidence, I think the biggest factor that we measure is the confidence of the kids.
Yeah.
Because you can't buy or sell confidence. Once you instill confidence in a kid, it sets them up for life.
Yeah.
So that we're using the shoe as a symbol for confidence.
Yeah.
And that's the greatest gift you can give any child.
Absolutely.
And remember, this is not a school shoe project, because this is not a school shoe. A normal school shoe pops up in about a year's time.
Yeah.
This is a high quality leather shoe that not just worn by kids but by anybody.
It's a good thing because it's a good thing that you mentioned confidence, because really once your spirit is knocked as a child, you get bullied, people laughing at you for, like Doug was saying, having cracks on your feet. And the impact of that is lifelong. You might drop out of school and your life actually ends there without that sense of education. So you're doing a great job in that regard. Doug, how important is it that people like yourself who have a platform, very famous and commanding a lot of following, that from time to time, apart from doing your business, that you also then involve yourself in charity, stuff like that? You've said that you've done a lot of charity before, but I think this is a notch above, to put your body on the line. You can be hurt, but somehow you feel that you still need to do this.
I don't know if I can repeat it, because I've said it already earlier. I said this is a project is for the good cause. Yeah. You see, a lot of people, and also for me to get involved in charity projects, I like checking the history also of the project, because other people will just call you, comes for charity, and they've never done that before. You don't know where the money is going. For Project Never Walk Alone, we've seen it. We've seen it on TV, social media. We've seen the results. Shoes being handed over. It's not something that is just come do that then they disappear. So projects like that, they motivate me. Me wanting to get involved. And probably it's not going to be the first and the last that I'm going to get involved. Our event that we always have yearly at Tunam Stadium is also the same. Some of the proceeds goes to charity. Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, that's it.
And hopefully also it encourages also other people that have the same influence as me, me to influence them and get involved in different projects, charity projects. Yeah.
Yeah. No, true. Tim, do you mind reflecting a little bit on where is this source of compassion come from with you? Because, like I said earlier, it's not the first sort of charity work that you're doing. You've always been very much, you've been very humanitarian in so many ways over the years. Where does that compassion come from? Is it from a specific place, like maybe you've had a particular sort of past as a child, You don't seem to have grown up in a particularly troublesome environment. So where does it come from?
Yeah, it's the first time somebody asked me this question.
Yeah.
I don't come from a particularly poor family.
Yeah.
We've had one loaf of bread for the day. I think we were just fine. We had the basics. We had a 2-bedroom house outside. The boys were living in a shack. But it was freedom for us. We did not see it as a shack.
Okay.
So it was good freedom for us. I can probably only remember going to school barefoot for like a month because I was Spanish. I went to play soccer with my school shoes.
Yeah.
But if you were to ask where the inspiration comes from, I think it's really about pleasing God and making sure that we care for people. We live in a country where we need to show a lot more to our fellow human beings.
Yeah.
And not just criticize them for whatever they do.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that have a lot of potential that just requires that one opportunity. And if you look at the sort of projects I've been involved in, it's really about creating opportunities for others. I mean, I've lived my life. This second phase of my life is really about shining a light on others.
Yeah. And Doug, the fact that you are participating in this whole thing and that you are involved in a lot of charity work also says something about you. You don't come across particularly as such. Maybe because sometimes you do some of this work silently. You don't publicize it. But does that also say something about your personality? Are you a tough guy, but very kind inside? Are you that
No,
kind of guy?
I think I'm a baby. No, I think I'm a baby. You know, the toughness, I put it on for people not just to walk over me. You see, and I like being on my own. I like being alone. Otherwise, I'm a very, 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 very soft guy.
Yeah.
I think I'm a very soft guy. I just don't like unnecessary people around. But you can say I'm tough too.
Yeah.
I'm tough too. I think I'm 90% tough, and 10% soft. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm asking because obviously, I think, and I've had this conversation with you before, because you're coming from this Kwaito background, and Kwaito was always about toughness. It was about the streets. It's about street credibility and stuff like that. And
Swallow your blade.
exactly. So when you evolve, because obviously King Tee Dee, he went on to achieve a lot of success in music, became a very, very grounded family man, father of girls only.
Of which now I'm scared of. If Tim knocks me, I don't know how I'm gonna go back home to my kids. With a swollen lip, because I didn't tell them anything that I'm going to fight. Probably their mother told them, but say coming home with a swollen lip, they're asking you what happened, all this. I think if you knock me out, I'm not gonna. Only my wife will know where I'm sleeping. When I go home, I'm okay. I can say I was on tour of punches.
Make sure I only concentrate on the body.
Yeah, the body.
But coming from a Kwaito background, Kwaito I can compare it to. It's the same thing as boxing. You have to be tough. In boxing. Otherwise, if you're softy, people watch your show, but they like a person that is more, that talks a lot. My image is, from in Kwaito, I had to be tough. It's the same thing as hip hop.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're soft, this reminds me of when it's out of when I wanted to release a song called Baby Don't Go. Yeah. It went out to become one of the biggest songs ever. But it took me 2 years to release it because of my background of Kwaito. I was singing about gangster things and all that. Now for me to come out with a soft song, I was afraid for people like, look at this guy.
Become something else.
Yeah. So I think also my image suits boxing. See, even Mr. Tim can look straight in my eyes. Can you do it? Yeah.
Tim, please wrap this thing up for us. If you can reflect on the details of the event itself. Quickly.
Yeah, so it happens on the 15th of October at the Window Country Club. We have 3 allocation of tickets, VIP tables going for $20,000 Namibian. Includes dinner and drinks. Those are for the big boys like you. Only buy VIP.
You wanna chill with the big boys.
Then we have VIP singles as well.
Yeah.
It also gets you to sit at the table. It goes for $2,000 Namibian. And then you have your single tickets, standard tickets going for $500 Namibian. Of course, we have huge rich buffet of performances, including Master KG. King Tee Dee might also be formed, depending on how the show goes.
If you don't harm him.
Yeah. or we can allow him to perform first. But it's a whole celebration of let's come together and fight this thing called barefootedness.
Wonderful.
And we're inviting everybody to come.
Wonderful.
Tickets are already available for sale, web ticket, so you can just buy yours already now.
And we only have 20 VIP tables left, so.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Plus, I feel like also if there's other companies out there that wants to come in and sponsor still again, I think you're welcome to do so. Yeah.
Wonderful. Gentlemen, it was an absolute pleasure having you on the set tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, wonderful. That is the evening review for tonight. Thank you for watching and good night.